In this intro video to Microsoft Teams, we're going to go over some different ways to access Teams, how to download the desktop version so you can get more features, the benefits of using Teams, what the difference is between a team and a channel, and some setup options for when you have a big project or event. The first part of this video is more of a how-to, and then it goes a bit into best practices. All right, first you're going to go to the following website, http://portal.office.com. It's going to look like this. And then you're going to type in your full El Camino email address and click Next. It'll tell you that it's taking you to your organization's sign-on page. And then you're going to see the login page that we usually see when you go to log into the MyECC portal. What you might be wondering right now is, if I happen to already be logged into the ECC portal, do I need to log on this page again? Yes, even if you're already logged into the portal like I am right now, you'll still need to log in on this page. Go ahead and type in your full elcamino.edu email address if it didn't already fill that in for you, and then your same MyECC password. You'll be taken to this sort of dashboard screen. Well, first it's going to ask you if you want it to keep you signed in. So I'm going to say yes. Then it's going to take you to this sort of dashboard screen where you're going to see a whole lot of Office products. Click on the logo for Teams. It's going to launch the web version of Teams, aka the Office 365 version. If you're using a computer that you work on a lot, you might want to consider downloading the desktop version rather than continuing to work online in this version, because even though they're pretty similar, you'll actually have some more features when you use the desktop version. To download the desktop version, you'll come to the lower left-hand corner and click on this Download the Desktop Version button right here. So you'll see that it has been downloaded to my computer. It's still downloading. Give it just a second. And there we go. Okay, so once it downloads, you click on it, and then it's going to bring up a pop-up box letting you know that it is currently installing it on your computer. And then it will load. And then it's going to open and ask you to sign in again, even though you just signed in. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And it's going to make me enter my MyECC password one more time. Then it's going to bring up another box where it's going to pre-check, allow my organization to manage my device, and letting you say that it'll keep your password for you so you don't have to log in each time. So even when you check this, just FYI, it likely will still occasionally ask you for your username and password. Just heads up on that one. So you click yes, and then it's going to register everything for you. Then just click the Done button, and it will be on your computer itself, not just in the cloud. It will then open up the desktop version. So we can see that it looks a bit different than the web app version. And this one has a few more features than that web version. Once you've downloaded it, you no longer have to log in via that website I gave you at the beginning of this video. Let me close out of it here, and I'm going to show you how to access the desktop version. So I'm still in the web app version, but I want to teach you how to access it on your desktop. You're going to come down to the search bar in the lower left corner of your computer and type in Teams. This first option that appears is the app, and then when you click on it, the full desktop version will load. If you're going to be using MS Teams a lot, you might want to pin the icon to your taskbar so that you don't have to search for it each time. Just come on down to your taskbar, hover your mouse over the icon, and right-click, and then select Pin to Taskbar. It will now be here at the bottom of your screen whenever you turn on your computer. So to go over that again, you first would need to go to http://portal.office.com. Then you'll type in your ECC email address. And then on the next screen that appears, the one that looks like our portal login screen, you're going to enter your ECC email address and your MyECC password. And then you'll click on the MS Teams icon. If you'd like, you can then download the desktop version, or you can continue to access it via 365. So now let's talk about the difference between Teams and channels. Channels are found inside of Teams. One way of looking at it is that a team is a specific group of people, and then a channel is something that they're talking about. A channel could be a project that members of the team are working on, a subgroup of the people on the team, or maybe even a topic. For example, a team might be the psychology department, and some channels within that team could be the majors open house, or part-time faculty members, or ideas for a department mascot. A team doesn't have to be made up of people who are all in the same department. You could have a team with people from a lot of different departments. Here's an El Camino example of how we used MS Teams to help collaborate across different departments at the college. Our team was called Cornerstone Implementation. It was a pretty big group, so as you can imagine, had we been collaborating over email, there would have been a whole lot of threads going back and forth. Also, sometimes you want to just send a 1 or 2 word message like thanks or I'm on it. And you don't want that to necessarily be its own separate email because people are already getting a lot of emails about the project. So if you keep it all inside MS Teams instead, then it becomes kind of like a WhatsApp group or a group on Facebook Messenger, and it saves you and everyone else from getting a ton of individual emails. Another benefit is that you can upload files inside of Teams, kind of like SharePoint. Let me show you that. So here we are in the Pro Dev department sample team. And if someone uploads a file, it goes into the Files tab. That way, if someone on your team is discussing a certain file, you can just go into your team, go to the Files area, and then that file is right there. And this saves you from having to search through your emails to try to find that one file that this person attached like a month ago. It really helps everyone to keep track of relevant files. You can also treat certain files like a Google Doc, where members of your team can work on it together in real time. Now, when we onboarded with Cornerstone, we were all still on campus, so we could hold in-person meetings. If that project were happening now, we could meet synchronously online through a video chat in MS Teams, kind of like Zoom. So basically, MS Teams is like if you combined WhatsApp with SharePoint and Google Docs and Zoom. It's all in one place, so that makes it really handy. Now let's talk about teams versus channels. Now, depending on how you want to break it down, you could create a channel for a specific project within your team, or you might want to create a separate team for that project, so then it can have its own channels if it gets complicated or if there winds up being a lot of info that needs to be shared. Let me give you an example of this. In professional development, we have a team that's made up of Lisa, myself, Tuan, and Alma. When Fall Professional Development Day comes around, we could have a channel within that team dedicated to Fall PD Day. And then everything that we discussed involving Fall PD Day would go into this channel, and it could get pretty big. Another option would be to create a separate team for Fall PD Day. The members of that team would still be the same, Lisa, myself, Tuan, and Alma, but having PD Day be its own team, as it were, would allow us to create separate channels within that team hub that are dedicated to specific aspects of PD Day. Basically, it really depends on the needs of your department or group. Before you set up your teams and channels, you might want to have a quick conversation about how you would like it to be set up.